How's it going, boys? My name is Schlatt. Welcome back to Inbox. This is the show where you send me emails and I answer them. Oh my god, I know I promised a double upload, but I barely managed a single upload. I've been doing a lot of work on the actual main channel stuff. A lot of good ideas. I'm having a lot of good brainstorming sessions, so bear with me. And I got some cool stuff to show you. But let's get started. No YouTube questions this time, all right? Hi, I'm looking for advice about privacy on the internet. And looking at you, it looks like you are good with this type of stuff, so I'll get right to the point. In the past, I never really bothered to keep my IRL information private. Nothing too drastic, but with friends at the time, I thought it was okay to tell them my IRL name and what town I live in. Now I've realized that I probably shouldn't do that. Nothing bad has happened, but there's a person who I'm currently friends with that I don't want to be friends with, and he knows that kind of stuff. So he knows the IRL information of this guy. I've been friends with him for nearly 2 years, but I realize now that I don't want to be friends with him anymore. The only reason I've kept contact with him is because I feel like he's the type of person who would leak my town and IRL name if I stopped talking to him. What should I do? Thanks. I don't know if you're trying to pursue any like brand identity online or if you're trying to do music or whatever. So it's probably not as easy as just deleting your online presence, just making a new alias and then just moving all your current people you want to talk to over to that one. I'm going to assume it's not. So I will say this. When I started on YouTube, I was an open book. All right. I had my name out there. My face was out there. A lot of stuff was out there that I realized around 500 subscribers or so. I realized that, oh, I should probably not have this information out here anymore. And so I cleaned up my act a little bit. I spent a lot of time scouring the internet trying to remove any bit of personal information you can find about me. I generally think I did a good job. And going forward, I'm very careful about what information I give out to the public. Do you think my real name is Schlatt? Oh, man. I am still paranoid about some of that stuff getting out there. And I still do stay in touch with a lot of people who know that information. And I'm lucky enough to be able to trust them to not put it out there or to stab me in the back or anything like that. So in your case, though, I'd say the last thing you want to do with this person is to cut off all contact abruptly. Don't get on bad terms with this person. If he's the type of guy who you think would leak your information, the relationship needs to end on sort of more of a, yeah, we just kind of fell out of contact note, rather than, oh, this guy's a fucking douchebag note, right? You don't want him being upset with you by the end of it. So, yeah, definitely try and ease out of contact. Also, something worth mentioning and thinking about is that I've definitely had moments where, if someone has information I don't want anyone to have anymore online, you might think that, they're out to get you or something, or they're trying to ruin your career or something like that. And if that's the case, you might just be overthinking it, man. It might just be in your head. Either way, stay careful. Don't make the same mistakes again. And best of luck. Hey there, Mr. YouTube. I'm in high school and rounding out my senior year right now. I'm really enjoying spending time with all my friends and some classes, but I really don't know what I'm going to do next year. I know I'm going to college, but I'm having a hard time deciding on what I want to do there. I'm not a dumb kid, but I'm not super smart either. Everyone is applying for colleges, and I'm just getting stressed out of my mind trying to do calc homework, let alone decide the fate of thousands of dollars. Any advice? Thanks. Dude, I feel for you, and I think a lot of people in your school are in the same boat as you, just completely overwhelmed because senior year isn't exactly the cakewalk many people make it out to be. And on top of doing work and just being a high schooler, you have to decide where you want to go for the next 4 years of your life, where you want to sink thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into to get a piece of paper that tells you, oh, this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. I think it's so fucked up that we trust 18, 17, fucking 16-year-olds to make decisions like that. I don't think you've been on the planet long enough to be able to make a decision like that, what you want to do for the rest of your life. And I don't think that high school or schooling in general does enough to prepare most kids to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their lives either. So I think it's a shitty situation. I consider myself lucky, very lucky, that I knew from about 7th grade I was just really into computers, and I knew that I wanted to do something related to them, and so I went into computer science. A lot of kids go in undeclared. A lot of kids change majors, and I think for the first year or two of college, you're doing all right for yourself if you don't exactly know, because the first few years tend to be more liberal arts or just humanities, just basic requirements that most colleges force you to take before you get into the actual stuff that's more in-depth in your actual major. Like just now, I'm starting to have a schedule that's pretty much all computer science, and that I never had that before. I think you know yourself well enough to be able to tell what you think you might want to do, and I say you go into that instead of just going in undeclared, because chances are you'll probably wind up wanting to do something that you're interested in. I hope that's the case, and figure it out from there, man. I'm rooting for you. The college process is not a fun one. Dear Schlatt, sorry if this question is too weird or heavy or anything compared to other questions, but I'd like to know a good way to change oneself, if that's okay. I've wanted to just totally change for years now, and have slowly been building up to it, but nothing seems to be working. I'm still really shy, stupid, awkward, easily scared, annoying, and generally not that great of a person. I'm not suicidal or depressed or anything, but like most of my fellow kids these days, I sure do hate myself. Sorry if that sounds edgy. And I'm paraphrasing the rest of this, but what is the best way to change yourself from my perspective as someone who doesn't know this person at all? And what is my experience with enacting change in myself? I think this is kind of relevant in this day and age in early January, because a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions and a lot of people don't follow through with them. I think a lot of people go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to change every single thing about me, and it starts on January 1st. Let's go. And they fail by, the next week. The issue with that is, and the issue with New Year's resolutions is, a lot of people try to change a big part of their life, and they try to do it all at once. And that's the issue. I think you need to do it gradually. Single out one thing you'd like to change that is possible for you to change. You know you can change it. Do that thing, and then look back on it for motivation as you conquer the next hurdle. And I think that's the way to do it. You have to split it up. If you throw everything on yourself at once, I mean, you mentioned a lot of stuff. You said you were still really shy. You said you were stupid. I think you're selling yourself short, but awkward, easily scared, annoying, generally not that great of a person. That's a lot of stuff to throw on yourself at once and say, oh, I want to change all this stuff. Start with being shy. Start with being stupid. I don't know. Start with being awkward. Start with any one of those things. And I'm not saying I know how to change any of those things at all. I don't have the best advice for that. But I will say that start small and then use your progress to motivate you to conquer the next thing. And I think you could do it. I think you got it in the bag here. Just start small. Guys, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, any advice you'd like me to give, anything, because I'm such a well-traveled individual, email it to me at jschlatt@pm.me. Again, thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic week.